Hello, hello, welcome back to Let's Talk H.P. Lovecraft. If you've not subscribed to our channel, please do that now before we get started. Alright guys, today's review of H.P. Lovecraft is actually a collaboration with E. Hoffmann Price. The story is Through the Gates of the Silver Key, published July 1934 in Weird Tales. It is part of the Randolph Carter series. It is, I guess, technically the direct sequel to The Silver Key, which I reviewed about 2 weeks ago, so you can look back and check out that review. Randolph Carter has been missing for 4 years. He was last known to have visited his family estate bearing the Silver Key. Now, 4 years later, a group including a group of mystics who worked with him and a relative who was a very shrewd lawyer have met to decide the fate of Carter's estate. Is it time to determine or to declare him dead? Among the group is a Hindu Swami who tells the group that is gathered this hypothesis of what he believes has happened to Carter. He believes that using the Silver Key, Carter passed a gate into a higher dimension. There he would have met an entity who, having respected his curiosity, offers to send him through another gate called the Ultimate Gate. This gate is a sort of like a doorway into the operating system of the universe. That's my best method for describing it. Basically, Carter becomes a disembodied, multidimensional entity who can now see every version of himself that has ever existed or ever will existed at every time or place. He can basically choose to go and occupy those spots and really sort of look at the universe from an outside perspective and no longer have a dedicated personal consciousness, I would guess. He sees these universes, these dimensions laid out before him. He decides to travel to one of them that is billions of years ago in another dimension, light years away from where Earth will one day be. He gets there, out of his curiosity. He occupies the body of an insectoid looking high priest, but he finds that the key alone is unable to get him back when he's ready to live. So he begins making plans for this elaborate mission. There's basically a space flight across time and dimensions, and eventually brings himself back to Earth just 2 years after his disappearance. But now he's on Earth. He's trapped in a weird body. He disguises himself, but he must now work to use what magic exists here on Earth to reclaim his own human form, because he's now longing for the Earth he gave up. He spent his life daydreaming, and now he wants to go back. But we learned that the Hindu Swami who is conducting the meeting and giving the story is actually Carter's insectoid form in disguise. When this happens, the meeting breaks up. One of his relatives, who is a skeptic, has a heart attack, and Carter slips away through a magical clock in the corner of the room. But was it Carter, or was it the creature who he was sharing a body with? Yeah, guys, it is, even by Lovecraft standards, a very far out there story. It's a mindfuck, guys. It is a mindfuck. Not as good as The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadaf. I think that is the best story in the Carter series. It's a bit disjointed. It's less cohesive than Kadaf, because there's just a sheer number of ideas going on. Ideas about the nature of dimensionality and of existence and consciousness, and how the universe works. Kadaf, on the other hand, was a very immersive story. It was a cohesive story, and I missed that. I was kind of hoping to get that out of out of this one, but it did not. The nature of the universe, as described as being this place that if you go through the ultimate gate, you can now access it like you access nodes in DaVinci Resolve, the editing software. Kind of reminds me also of the movie Interstellar, where Matthew McConaughey, he's sort of like behind the bookshelf of life, and he's able to tap Morse code out to his daughter 20 years earlier or later, or just it kind of has that sort of every spot in one moment sort of design element. But the danger of this whole story, and the moral of this whole story, is that Carter's curiosity for the unknown, for knowledge, his quest for knowledge, has led to him being cut off from the old him, the life and the consciousness that he once had. So yeah, it's in a weird roundabout way, it is a cautionary tale, but it's also at the same time pro exploration, because you get to have experiences that you would never otherwise have if you take these risks to look outside of the box and see the world in a way that is completely different from everyone around you. At one point in the story, Carter's talking to this being, this deity, if you will, and basically says that in all of Earth's history, only 11 people, not people, I think 5 of them were humans, the rest of them were actually pre-human creatures. But only 11 beings from Earth had ever been allowed this honor to look past the ultimate gate. So it is, what he's saying here is it is a rare thing for somebody to gain this level of independence and awareness and almost omniscience, I guess. I have no doubt that maybe Lovecraft kind of maybe saw himself in this kind of light, because he was an odd bird. He was a singular talent. He was and still remains, I think, ahead of his time, although 90 years have passed or whatever. But yeah, guys, Through the Gates of the Silver Key. Not as good as some of the others in the Carter series, but still gives you a lot to chew on. It's a very interesting tale, and it is worth the hour and 20 minutes it'll take you to listen to the audiobook, less if you are a fast reader. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Until next time, keep it creepy.